It is day 3 of CES, but it feels like year 3, pretty much.
Absolutely. It's been a long week.
Yeah.
But actually today is probably the easiest day to get around and see some of the products, less of a crowd, but you're going to have a harder time getting product demos because most of the PR people are heading out.
It's kind of weird, right?
It is.
They still have to work, including Friday, which
we
is
still
tomorrow.
have to work.
I know.
Yeah.
I should switch over to PR, I guess.
Yeah, clearly they get to check out a whole lot earlier.
I mean, basically that's what we're doing anyways. You're sitting here in the Samsung lounge and their logos are all over us.
Pretty much. But it's fun.
You know what I think, what's really interesting over here at CES, and I talked to this about this with Nicole yesterday, is the North Hall, all the automotive companies. This is, I think, a record year for the car industry here at CES in terms of how many...
I would agree. Normally, I definitely remember seeing some things from Chevrolet in the past, and they probably have had one of the biggest CES presence, but now we have things going on with Audi, we have things going on with Chevrolet is still here, but also Ford, and we're just seeing a lot of stuff. BMW is doing a collaboration with Intel. It's kind of getting out of hand. Even Qualcomm has a Formula E race car in their booth. So definitely a much bigger presence, much more automotive technology going on, and much more connectivity also with some of the main things that you would see here at CES with automotive technology as well. So that's been very, very interesting to see.
And just in case if you're wondering what I'm drinking here, this is basically liquid crack.
Smurf crack, we've named it.
You know what? I just saw it's even on the logo of the Smart Lounge. So Samsung is having
Maybe it's smart Smurf crack. See?
I'm running on it because otherwise I would just cough.
And it's pretty good though. It's not that bad.
It is really good.
It's actually not as sweet as it looks, I have to say.
It's
it
not
doesn't
sweet
look
at
like
all.
it has
It's
a ton
very
of sugar.
refreshing, and they're just getting gallons and gallons of this Heisenberg juice over here like every 2 or 3 hours. It's absolutely amazing. I can't live without it at all. But I think we were talking about cars.
Yes, which has no blue crack in it.
Yeah.
But Toyota has their fuel cell technology going on.
There are fuel cells around, again.
Yes, again. They actually had a really cool concept car as well that you drive with your body. Instead of having a steering wheel, you get inside of it. It's almost very Tron looking-ish. And you drive it with your body and it adapts to you, adapts to your personality, and adapts to the way you move as well.
So you went over to the Toshiba. No, that was closed. Of course,
not.
You've been also at the Toshiba booth.
We've been there too.
You've been at the Toyota booth. Well, they're both coming from Japan, and you were taking a look at interviewing someone from Toyota about the fuel cell car.
About the fuel cells.
So why don't we take a look at this right now?
And we are here with Craig, who is responsible for the new fuel cell platform that Toyota has announced at CES. So tell us a little about this. Like, why is this important, and what's the big deal about it?
So the great thing about a fuel cell vehicle is that it's an electric vehicle that makes its own electricity. So no more plugging it in. Drive it like a regular car, 300 miles, fill up, drive another 300 miles.
And what does that mean for consumers then in terms of like just, I guess I would say, so we're not plugging in for electric, you're still using gas.
No gas.
No gas.
No gas, right? So this is a completely gasoline-free vehicle. It runs only on hydrogen, which means that it's zero emissions.
And
so
then where
no
am I going to get the hydrogen?
You're going to get a fueling station in California. And in the future, you're going to get it in New York, in New Jersey, Connecticut, everywhere else.
Nice. So this is going to start rolling out in California.
It is. In 2015, we're going to begin sales in California. And as infrastructure develops across the country, we'll be ready to sell the car in other places.
Okay, cool. And so can you explain a little bit about how the technology works in terms of how it translates or how it converts?
Sure, yeah. It's actually very simple and very elegant, and that's what makes it really nice. There's no combustion. So in a gasoline engine, you actually ignite the fuel and create power, right? But in a fuel cell vehicle, it's all chemical reaction. So it's just like going back into chemistry class in high school, right? So you have some fuel tanks here in the back, these yellow tanks, and they feed hydrogen into the fuel cell stack that's sitting underneath the front seats. And in there, what happens is a chemical reaction that separates the hydrogen atom into ions, electrons and protons, and it takes those electrons and it feeds the electric motor, and it runs front wheels. Very simple. Any power that's left over gets brought back and recharges the battery.
Yeah, very nice. Why did you guys take this route versus the electric route? That was a pretty big trend for the past couple of years. Why are you guys taking this route instead?
So do also make electric vehicles, but what we found was that customers sort of want to have the same experience they have with a gasoline car. So they want to be able to drive like they normally drive and refill like they normally refill. And so for those customers, we want to make sure we have a solution that's also no carbon, also emissions free. Right? And in this case, this allows that to happen. Right? You get to drive just like a regular car, regular gasoline car, I should say, no difference, and you get all the benefits of a zero emission vehicle.
Awesome. Thank you for talking to us about this, Craig. Appreciate it. And this is Corbita checking out from Mobile Geeks. And we are going to take a look at the Toyota FV2, which is a very interesting car concept coming from Toyota. Cut over there, please. And it's a future mobility concept that Toyota created. It has two really important points in the driving experience, connecting with the driver physically and emotionally. And physically, it operates using your body only to shift and move the car. It's kind of like a Segway. And emotionally, it actually recognizes your voice. It also has image recognition and can recognize other things in terms of your mood, the way you drive, to be able to adjust properly and kind of give you a personalized driving experience. Very cool design, almost like a speed racer kind of boxcar. Kids actually gets me excited about it. So yeah, that's the Toyota FV2, future mobility concept from Toyota. This is Corbita Raven checking out with Mobile.
Interesting. Fuel cells are back.
They're back. I didn't know when they came in. I'm a little young for the fuel cell conversation, actually.
Okay, I got that. Well, I remember like 10 or 12 years ago when the whole industry kind of tried to convince us that fuel cells are the next big thing and that all our mobile devices will run on fuel cells. It's good to see that a company like Toyota is so committed to this and is developing this, and therefore quite interesting to see that. You might have noticed already that most of our videos, no, basically all of our videos except of the wrap-ups, because they're getting sponsored by the Intel Android team, are sponsored by Mercedes-Benz. They actually got me over here, which was kind of nice. And we've also had a lot of meetings with them. And I've been like 4 or 5 weeks ago, I've been to their R&D center opening in Sunnyvale. So I already got a little bit of an idea of what they're going to show here, which is quite amazing, because I've been so complaining about the development in terms of the connected car about 12 or 15 months ago. But now it seems that they really kicked off. Have you been at the Mercedes booth?
No, I haven't yet. What was there?
So, well, first of all, they had this new S-Class Coupe concept car, which is, oh my God, how can I describe this? They're not paying me for this right now, trust me. It just looks absolutely beautiful.
Nice.
And the interior designers could go all in. It just looks,
inside and out.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Well, let's take a look at that. I want to know more. Let's take a look.
Let's take a look at this one, because I've been also actually filming it with Google Glass. Hey guys, Sasha from Mobile Geeks here. I'm at the Mercedes-Benz booth at CES 2014 in Las Vegas, and as you can see, that's kind of genius idea. So they're pitching the CE and the S-Class, and what we have over here is just a beautiful new model. So this is an S-Class coupe concept, and we have Vera over here from Mercedes.
Hey.
And you're going to tell us a little bit about the new car here? That would be amazing.
So the S-Class coupe is a very emotional car, and our team was centrifugal. So you see it's stunning on the outside, it's stunning on the inside, and we have fully digital instrument panel.
Oh, absolutely.
And very special about this is that we have a special interaction, for example, for music. So if you go through the different menus and go through the music selection, you can pick music depending on your mood.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah, it's a visual, very emotional visualization of your mood. For example, if it's more dark, it's more melancholic, or if it's very vital, and then you can pick one of these.
That's great.
So we collaborate with this part with Grace now.
Okay, here we go.
So you can bring your music to the car, and then you don't have to create a playlist, but you can just select your music depending on your mood. So it's a very mood-based selection. It's a very new way of selecting your music in a car.
This looks amazing. It kind of reminds me of the concept that you've been showing around, right? Which is this kind of cockpit concept that you have, and now it's basically in a real car.
Yeah. So this will be in the car really soon, and it's very, very elegant and very emotional and fits the whole car very nice.
It's beautiful. Look at these different colors of leather over here. This kind of huge dashboard with like HD quality displays. That looks absolutely stunning. And you would even have some little...
Yes. You can interact with this is like a world clock, and you can interact with it. For example, if I go to the first clock, we can rotate the world to select a new time zone, right? So we can
wow.
zoom in, select one of the cities you want. For example, here on the West Coast, San Francisco, we can pick San Francisco. Went to Vancouver.
Now we got Vancouver.
But so we can select these different worlds, going through the world.
Nice.
It's very, very emotional, very aesthetic design we have here.
And this could be basically anything. I mean, it's a touch screen, right? And oh my God, it's so responsive. Wow. That is absolutely amazing. So just imagine this might be a kind of AMOLED display that we have over here, a multi-touch one. And this is just so quick. Let's go to Cape Town here.
We have to.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I had
up and then tap on one of the.
Here we go. You have to kind of focus it in the center, and here we go. I like this idea, absolutely. And in general, I mean, this is a luxury car, of course, right? And this is a kind of car designer's dream, right? You could go all in and just play with it, right?
So, and then especially also from the UX part. For example, what we are showing here is an animation for the Magic Money Control. The Magic Money Control is something we are showing in the S-Class.
Can we turn the volume a little bit down? Let's see. Okay. Oh, that's fine. I think that's fine. Wow, and look at all this. I guess this is kind of brushed aluminum that you're using here, right? This is absolutely stunning. And see the integrated speakers here. And of course, I can also control all my seating. Wow, my car is my castle.
What we have here as well is, for example, since the car is starting to get more and more intelligent and listens to you, you can, for example, have a suggested route. And the suggested route is connected to your predictive interface. The predictive interface you see on the other booth. For example, it can predict where you want to go next, for example, depending on where you are right now. So now the prediction is really only map-based, but back there you see a concept where all the features are integrated. Or, for example, you also integrated the Nest thermostat. For example, if we go to a recent destination and we route to home, my Nest thermostat at home sees that I'm start driving home and starts to build up, so you can see.
Very cool.
Comes up.
I totally love that idea. But I'm just gonna cover it a little bit from the outside because I also need to show you the rear mirror and everything, and to show the exterior. But this looks absolutely stunning. Is there anything else I can play around with here?
Great.
And look at this roof. Oh my God. And you know what? They even more speakers here in the back, and more brushed aluminum over there. This is absolutely stunning.
And you have a light surround ambient light you see as well.
Oh yeah, over here. That is absolute, and even here. Wow. So let's take a look how it's gonna look like from the front. So look at these huge rims here, and let me just show you the hood. Just absolutely stunning. Look at this. Right, and last but not least, I also have to show you the back of it. Right, watch it. We're almost there. Look at this rear. And then you can see these additional speakers again, so it just kind of gives you a whole kind of surround sound system, whole car. Oh, look at this rear here. Oh my goodness. What a beauty. Oh my goodness, what a beauty of a car.
Oh my God, can I have it like right now?
You know, Mercedes told me that in between 50 or 100 people are coming to their booth asking them, okay, where can I sign a check? Where can I buy it?
Yeah, I would like it, like right now. Call me.
So it's still a concept, sorry, right? And it would be very expensive. But it gives you a little bit of an idea of their future product line, because this is their new chief designer, and also in terms of the interior and what was going on the dashboard, and all this interactivity over there. That's what you're going to see. And I think even they're going to launch a new C-Class on Monday, so we might going to see some
of that technology come over there as well. No, that would be great.
Talking about technology and talking about user experience in a car. With all these connected devices that we have, we're kind of stepping into this kind of contextual age, where devices are getting smarter, and
Yeah, we want our cars to be just as smart. In fact, Intel has a connected drive feature that they collaborated with BMW for, which really does, I think, in all of the automotive technology that I've seen in terms of syncing with your mobile devices, this is probably the best one that I've seen. The most I guess, fluid and in a deep integration. It's almost like as if it's an API for your car.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at that.
Let's do that.
And we are going to talk with Stefan from BMW Communications about the connected drive technology inside of the new BMW i Series. This is the BMW i3 we're in, correct?
Correct. We are showing here at the Intel booth our connected drive system. It's a kind of umbrella term for services and apps with in-car connectivity. And the reason why we are here at the Intel booth is that our system features an Intel processor, and we are going to show some features which are of specific relevance for the i3. But I will show you later some functionalities which are available for every BMW in our range.
Okay, nice. So where do we start? Do I need a phone? Do I need a tablet?
Basically, you do not need a phone, because every BMW, like this i3 here, comes with an integrated SIM card. That means it's fully connected right from the beginning. So this car comes as a standard, as I said before, with the SIM card, and this enables you to make use of functionalities like the iRemote app or the BMW i services for navigation, which require real-time data from the car or sent back to the car.
Okay, cool. So can you give us a quick overview of just
what are the features?
I will start off with the basic package of Connected Drive, which consists, amongst others, the concierge service. So this is basically a connection to a call center. You can call them 24/7, and they will give you information, for example, on restaurants, pharmacies, you can ask them, for example, what kind of shows do we find in the Venetian today? And they will send the information or the addresses directly to the navigation system. So that's a huge benefit. For example, if you are looking for a company, you do not have to type in the address into the navigation system. You can just have it sent directly to the system. Another great thing that we have is BMW Online. It's a kind of internet-based information portal which provides you with news, weather, Google local search, and some smaller applications like park info or webcams.
Nice.
And what we also have is BMW apps, and here comes your smartphone into play, because what we have done is that we wanted to integrate some of your app functionalities that you already have on your smartphone right into the BMW. Because we know that the people are living their digital lifestyle, they are used to the smartphones, the tablets, and they want to have it also in the car with them. And when we started our BMW apps in 2011, we started with our first app, which was developed by BMW, and this was called BMW Connected. And this is a kind of, let's put it this way, it's a kind of container app which includes different functionalities and features. Like we integrated a web radio, a Facebook account, you can access your iPhone calendar. And as you can see here, we have a reduced version of your Facebook access, of your Facebook account. It's really convenient and comfortable, convenient and intuitive to handle. And most of all, it is safe. So this is a very safe integration because driver distraction is a big issue for us. You can have all the posts read out loud, and you can also send predefined posts. So it doesn't work that you can compose posts while you are driving, but you rather can have some posts that you have written before you actually started. And the nice thing here is that we actually always include some real-time data from the vehicle. So for example, let's take this post here, which says arriving in Las Vegas at about 3:35, and it takes the real-time data from the navigation system. And of course, this is not enough, because we all have maybe even hundreds of apps on our smartphones. So we wanted to add another apps, and what we have done is, for example, we have integrated Glimpse or Pandora or TuneIn, and those apps are, for example, of specific relevant for the US customers. So Pandora is a US app, which is not available, for example, in the Europe, or also not in the Asian market. And that's why we have set up 4 app centers around the globe, because we want to be right at our customers, and we want to grab and get the local trends and have, so to say, personalized experience for our customers.
Nice. So a question then for the developers, does that mean they'll be able to kind of tap into this as well and make their apps in the future more compatible with the Connected Drive system as well?
Right, so when we team up with the Pandora guys or the Glimpse guys, it always works that we are offering them our SDK, and this SDK is integrated in their apps. So basically, when our guys reach out for new ideas, we always check, is there a use case for our drivers in the car, because it wouldn't make really much sense to have a cooking app right in the car. So it always have to be somehow connected to the driving, and we think that this is a really good way, because what basically is that the app provider adds an additional device, and the device is the BMW.
So that was Intel's cooperation with BMW. I like this car. It's a perfect city car.
The car itself, besides it being like kind of small, it looks very small from the outside, but it's very spacious on the inside as well. So I was pretty surprised by that.
It looks a little bit like a big version of the smart car.
Yes, yes, and it acts like that as well.
Which is a perfect transition to talk about the next Mercedes video again, right? So what Mercedes calls a predictive user experience. Okay. So this is all about sensors in the car that can predict, which person is actually sitting on the different seats, and then kind of fine-tuning the infotainment system and the content that you're seeing there. For example, navigation. They have this great demo that you're going to see in a couple of minutes, and I think this is absolutely the future, especially when, we're on our way to this automotive car sooner or later, right?
Absolutely.
And in this media briefing that Mercedes had over here, they just basically said, we want to turn the US car market or infrastructure ecosystem into 100 million mobile offices, which kind of sounds very ambitious. Very
ambitious, but the car, it was the first mobile technology, so to speak. Yeah. So why not? Why not be that ambitious and go for it? I could see it happening.
Yeah. And you know what? Actually, this even combines with what we saw from NVIDIA, but we're going to talk about this some later about, what new SoCs that we're going to put into our cars. But what I would love to show you, or what we would love to show you right now is what this predictive user experience actually means. So let's go back to the Mercedes booth. They're calling it predictive user experience, and I have Johan Jungwirth, more known as JJ. He's the head of the R&D center in Sunnyvale, and JJ, you're going to walk us through this.
Yes, I'm happy to do that. So what you see here is basically a giant prediction engine. Here we show the brain, and we show the basically most likely action a customer will take when he gets into the car, in the comfort features, basically climate control, seat heating, and so on, for navigation, for places, for social interaction, and for media, basically music customers listening to. So we talk about Dave, and here we have basically all the different places. We have the weather, we have the day, we have the time of the day. We also can choose whether Dave, travels on his own or with his kids or with his family.
Right.
And we can go through some use cases, and here we actually show the most likely action which Dave basically will take when he gets into his car. So let's say Dave is at home. It's a sunny day, it's a weekday, and it's a morning, and he just travels by himself. So let's go. What you will see here is It's most likely that Dave will drive to a coffee shop because that's what he normally does before he goes to work. It's most likely that he will listen to news on his first trip and then actually listening to some sports channel because that's what he normally does. And it's also most likely that the system cools down to 68 degrees because that's his preference. That's what he normally is set, especially on a sunny day. And you will see a difference when it's a rainy day or a snowy day. Now, let's actually do this again. Dave starts in the morning, again on a weekday, but let's have his children in the car as well, and let's look at the difference.
Interesting.
Now, Dave starts. First of all, they will likely listen to some kid station because his kids are in the car. And now he drives to elementary school first because that's where he drop off his son. And then he will drive to high school to drop off his daughter. And all of this is basically based on a huge prediction engine, and there's actually multiple prediction engines in these different categories. And we just have a sneak preview and just basically a short breakout of the overall brain of the overall system. But we think this contextual awareness, the contextual intelligence is going to be a huge movement, you know, with artificial intelligence to really make the user experience in the car. We call it, you know, a modern luxury and the Mercedes-Benz user experience, and we think we can differentiate ourselves from other brands if we do this right, and if the predictions are correct and are above a certain threshold in terms of likelihood and probability.
The scenario with the kids you've been showing us, is this a prediction that is based on sensor data that you're gathering from the car?
That is absolutely correct. I mean, we have seat sensors, we have weight sensors and so on, which we need anyway for our airbags, control and so on, and we just use this information now for some additional use cases. And what you see here is, you know, first level of these predictions will be recommendations to customers for action, and we let the customer actually take action in the car to confirm. And based on, you know, the learning of the system every day, you know, we can take action automatically. So above a certain confidence level. And what we have, you know, basically learned in the you know, months of developing this system, that within about 2.5 weeks, we actually gain already a confidence level of more than 80% for the different action we are proposing to customers, which is actually huge.
You know, you might gonna raise these questions about privacy and what's happening with our data, because you're gathering a lot of data here. Can you tell us a little bit about the approach of Mercedes-Benz?
Definitely. I mean, first of all, data security and data privacy is absolute key. We know customers trust our brand, and we think actually that customers will trust us actually more, maybe even more than other car manufacturers or brands, that we take care of their data, you know, fully and make sure that it's safe. What we also do is we ask customers. You know, we will not use any of the customer's data without the customer.
It's an opt-in system.
Exactly. So the customer has to confirm and opt in that we can basically, you know, use their historical data, you know, whether it's in comfort, media, social places, and so on. And secondly, we do not share this data with any other third party. It's all on our Daimler vehicle deck and on our Mercedes-Benz cloud. And even the prediction engines, actually, we have developed here, we have done completely in-house. So it's our own software engineers in Silicon Valley in our R&D center, which have even come up with the algorithms for this. So this way, we do not need to share the data with anyone else.
Welcome to the future of sensors and the future of cars.
Oh my God! But speaking of sensors and predictions, Audi actually has a connected or piloted drive. Piloted driving, which definitely takes into and uses sensors to be able to sense different things going on around it, such as for backing out or backing into a parking space. It can sense, and you can get out of the car. You can get out of the car and control it from your phone. You have an app on your phone, right? Yep, you have an app on your phone, and you're just with the push of a button being able to control your car backing into a parking space. And if you're looking for a parking space, it will actually help you find one as well. It will let you know when you pass a space that's just big enough for your car to fit in, and you don't even have to worry about backing it up. You can just get out, open the app, press a button, go ahead and back up. And
that was pretty cool. Definitely.
Absolutely. The demo for that is amazing. We'll take a look at that in a second. But they also have a tablet to go with their in-car system as well. So not only when you're, you know, you're home, you're listening to music, you're working on your documents or whatever the case may be, everything that you're doing from your tablet, you can pretty much move over to your car. So if you're looking for directions for something, if you're even, they're moving to a point where you can even send instructions or swipe instructions over to the car system as well. So very, very cool. And then speaking about that, you have, you know, just this kind of connected platform going on, or connected trend in terms of automotive, and being able, how do you then use the devices that you already have and connect it to what's going on in your car and transfer that information
Which
back
is
and
very
forth.
important. We need to create a seamless experience on all of the different platforms, right? And I think Audi did a really good job.
They absolutely did. I'd probably say they're definitely ahead of the game with that. Intel did that with BMW and their Connected Drive. And then you have Ford as well. Ford has the AppLink.
They have AppLink, exactly.
AppLink, and Chevrolet has MyLink. And I gotta admit that Ford is a little more advanced than that one, where Chevrolet's AppLink, Chevrolet's MyLink, they have standalone applications. Ford actually is really pretty much integrated with your phone. So if you have an application on your phone and they support it inside of their AppLink platform in the application, you're able to pretty much, for example, use voice commands to bring up your Spotify account and play one of your favorite playlists from Spotify and whatnot.
And it's even open source AppLink, which is kind of cool, right? And that's what we gave it an award at Mobile World Congress 2013, which is almost a year ago. Oh my God, time is flying.
Yes,
anyways, lots of cool new technology in the automotive show, and I think you guys should check these videos out right now.
Hey, Corbita Raven here at CES, and we are in the Audi booth talking to Renee about the new Audi display, the smart display.
The smart display, that's correct. And you can see it here. You can directly see the Audi world with all the Audi applications on it. It's directly connected to your main unit in the car via Wi-Fi direct. You have a lot of applications. So for example, you can control your radio, media, you can get some car information from your car. You have an active route guidance, you can follow that route. We have Google Earth inside there. It's quite comfortable. So for example, we can send some destinations from that device to the head unit. And in addition, we have a fully featured Android tablet.
And what version of Android is this running?
It's Android 4.3 Jelly Bean. Nice. You have access to the Google Play Store. You can download every application you like, watch movies, listen to music, and so on. It's a 10.2-inch device with a full HD resolution. Yeah, nice device. It's automotive confirmed. Really crash reliable, temperature resistant from -40 up to 80 degrees. Yeah, you have your personalized home screen where you can place your widgets and applications like you know it from a consumer device.
Can you pick it up for us?
Yep.
So this can be taken around in terms of as a regular laptop as well. This can be used just like a regular laptop as well?
Yeah, as well. So you can take it with you at tablet, you can take it with you at home, watch your movies at home, play your games. So as I mentioned, you have access to your most important applications, to your social medias, plus you have the Audi world with the connected applications to your car.
Can you turn it around for us? Get a little 360 view there. And it's pretty thin, and it seems pretty light as well.
Yeah,
very
it's
light.
thin and light and automotive confirmed. That's the most important thing.
Cool. And what if I'm listening to media inside the house and we're getting ready to leave? How would that work in terms of syncing up with the car?
Yeah, you just go, put it in your car, and then you can use the premium sound of your car hi-fi system, and it gets connected.
Nice. Cool. Well, thank you.
Imagine you just got off an airplane after a long day of traveling across country. You grab your luggage and you head out to your car. You're so excited to get home and finally get some rest, only to find when you approach your car that it's wedged in between two other vehicles and there's no possible way to get into your car. Well, we have an answer to that. Simply take out your smartphone, open up an app. As soon as you open that app, it'll send a signal to the vehicle. The ignition will start. Simply press a button on your phone that says drive. As he's pressing that button, that car is pulling out of that spot for him. It's using ultrasonic sensors to do this. It has securely pulled itself out of that tight parking spot. Now you can easily get into the vehicle, push your luggage in the back seat of the car, and be on your way home. Just with a touch of the button on your smartphone. Doing with the It's not like a video game where you're steering it into its spot. The ultrasonic sensors are doing that for him. He's simply supervising it as the car is pulling into that spot. For any reason, if you needed to stop the vehicle, you would simply take your finger off the button on the smartphone. As well as anything that came into the path of the vehicle, the sensors would note that and stop on its own. That's just a safety feature that we have as well while you're supervising it, that if you wanted to stop it, just take your finger off that button. These ultrasonic sensors are continuing to measure the exact distance that it needs to fit the best way possible between those two cars. He's just continuing to hold down that button. Once that car is securely parked, the lights will turn off, the engine will turn off, the doors will lock, and you can simply walk away. That was all with just the press of a button. It found you a parking spot in a congested city.
And we are in the Ford booth checking out AppLink. And I have Liz here with me, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about what it does, what's new. This was released in 2011 now.
That's correct. It launched on the 2011 Fiesta. So now 3 years later, we're on about 1.5 million cars. And what AppLink does is enable you to control the apps running on your phone through the vehicle interface. So what that means is you can use voice commands or steering wheel controls to use those apps without having to pick up your phone.
And do they work with iOS, Android, and Windows Phone, or just iOS right now?
Right now it's iOS and Android phones, so no Windows yet. But those...
Can you give us a little demo?
Of course. So right now, as you can see, we have Spotify hooked up already and running. So let's say we wanted to change a different playlist, we can use voice commands to do that. So right here I'm going to press a button that's normally on the steering wheel of the car, and this will trigger a voice session.
Who is behind this one?
Choose playlist.
Choose playlist.
So now the app is going to send the list of playlists to sync, and it'll load those as voice grammars so that sync can do all the recognition on behalf of the app.
Please choose a playlist to play.
Top 100 indie tracks on Spotify.
Top 100 indie tracks on
That's a long one, but it always works. So now it's going to switch to that playlist.
I love this song.
Yeah, it's a winner. And then we also have some buttons here, so apps can write whatever they want to these 4 keys. So if we want to, which we like the song, we can start it. Easy as that.
Nice. And this will then sync back with my Spotify account.
Yep, it's all running on the phone, so anything you do in the car is automatically in sync with the account. Yeah.
Nice. And what other apps are available for this?
We have over 60 apps that work with AppLink. A wide range, obviously a lot of music ones. So you have your Pandora, your iHeartRadio. We have some news apps, NPR, Wall Street Journal. To this year's CES, we're also announcing apps with Domino's Pizza. So you can literally order pizza using voice commands in the car.
That's awesome. So you're coming home, you're on the way home, and you're not going to, well, if you're a wife, you're not going to bother with calling your husband. You're just going to go ahead and use AppLink to pretty much make the call yourself.
Exactly.
Nice.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't have to pick up your phone to do it now. You just keep safe and use voice commands. Other apps are Park Mobile and Parkopedia, which help you both pay for parking through the car as well as find a spot.
Can I get this on my phone, not just in my car as well? We are at the Chevy booth at CES checking out MyLink inside of the new Impala, which looks very nice, by the way. And we are here with Marco. Marco's going to tell us a little bit about AppLink. So what do we want to know? Sorry, MyLink.
Yes, MyLink, yep. So what we're announcing is the connected vehicle. So OnStar 4GE LT, and we're going to bring that to almost the entire Chevy lineup, starting with the 2015 model year vehicles. So this is going to be your fast LTE connection. You're going to also get a Wi-Fi hotspot provided with that connection, and that means you're going to be able to bring up to 7 devices into the car. You're going to be able to connect to the Wi-Fi hotspot from those devices and use your internet, browse the internet, watch videos, all of that kind of stuff. That high-speed connection also enables things like our new App Store. And so with the App Store, you're going to be able to come into your vehicle, create an account similar to what you might have done with other devices, and then you'll have access to download a number of applications for the vehicle. We've got a number that we've already downloaded and installed here, so we'll be launching with things like TuneIn Radio, NPR, iHeart, Slacker. These are all different types of streaming radio services. Those will be available. We also have the Weather Channel, City Seeker, Event Seeker, Priceline, and Glimpse. So a whole bunch of different types of applications will be available, and more will come over time. So once you buy that vehicle, it'll continue to improve as you own it.
Now, is there any connectivity in terms of, like, if I'm already listening to Pandora and I get inside of the car, how would that transition happen?
Yep. So what we're doing here, this is an entirely standalone, if you will, system. So the apps are actually running in the car. So you don't need to bring in a phone. You don't have to have a phone in order to use this system. You'll be able to just launch the app right from here, start streaming your music. Now, if you were a Pandora subscriber and you had a Pandora account, you'd log in with those same credentials on this version, and then when you're driving down the road, you can just launch it and you'll have access to all your favorites and the stations you've created and so on.
Nice. And what other connectivity features are there available?
So one of the things that is interesting is that the apps in this car have connectivity with the vehicle systems. So what that means is we built a vehicle health app, and that will be able to pull information like tire pressure and oil life and all sorts of different data. So you'll be able to run diagnostic checks on your car. If you're using the Weather Channel app and you've traveled into another city, it's going to automatically be able to read the GPS off the vehicle through that connection and provide you with relative information.
Can we check out one of the apps now?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll launch the vehicle health app. And so right now we're in a mode, everything's okay. If I press this button, we're going to run through that diagnostics. It's going to check all that vehicle data, let you know that everything's running well, and give you that extra confidence. You'll also be able to come in here and schedule an appointment. Let me just get that again, sorry. Yep, so this is bringing up my preferred dealer. I could press the button here and it would make a phone call. I could make that call, or if I press the route button, it's going to bring up the native routing of the unit here, and you'll get directions to that location. And I could even walk through a wizard here and schedule an appointment with a particular dealer, and I'll get a confirmation sent to me over email. So if I was to come in here and let's say Friday morning, I want to set something up at 11:30 is available, and just confirm that, and I've got my appointment all set up through the connectivity.
Nice, that's pretty awesome. And that is Corvita Raven with Mobile Geeks checking out MyLink at the Chevy booth at CES. And thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Wow, that was quite impressive. And it's all in the North Hall. That's the high impact zone for car lovers.
That's definitely great in terms of walking around, how CES in the convention center. But that's, you know, it's interesting to see all of these kind of technologies come together, especially in automotive, because it's almost like they're trying to make the car into the next computer, which normally people wouldn't think about their car as a computer. But if you look at like GPS systems and whatnot, that's a very powerful computing technology that a lot of people rely on to get around. And so now we're moving into a direction that's kind of expanding on that in many different ways. And so what do you see happening in terms of the car becoming the next computer or supercomputer or computing device?
Little embedded processors have been in cars for way over 10 years, right? Even Intel and AMD are building these processors. We are ARM processors in cars. But in my opinion, the car will be the next, not only the next big thing, but the next supercomputer. It's turning into the fastest processing unit that we will have in our household. But it's not only the most expensive gadget or product that we're buying in our lives, besides of maybe buying a house or an apartment. This will turn into the fastest and the device with the most processing power. And I think it was quite interesting to see what NVIDIA was launching here at CES, or before CES even started. They call it the NVIDIA Tegra K1. It's basically an SoC that has its heritage in the Kepler GPU platform. It has 192 cores. And,
holy crap.
I think that the TDP is like 5 watt max, so that also means we won't see it in a tablet, we won't see it in a smartphone. It's gonna melt right away. Well, not really gonna melt, but battery life. If you're playing like something like, they had like a serious SEM demo that we're gonna look at some later. That was absolutely mind blowing. They had demos running on Unreal Engine 4. This is modern PC performance. Or let's say, what NVIDIA said, you know, it's faster than a PS3, it's faster than an Xbox 360.
Wow.
And once again, there's a small little SoC, and could you imagine if you put like 10 or 20 of them into a car?
You got a lot of power.
And you have a little supercomputer. And the other company that was showing an idea of new small processing units, that was Intel with the Intel Edison. It's as big as an SD card. It's probably holding the performance of like a 7-year-old desktop PC. And I'm pretty sure it's also going to be very, very inexpensive.
That'll be good.
Like probably under $50 US
That's
for
awesome.
for each unit. And once again, right, you can put 100 of them into your car, and turning your car into a little data center with a lot of processing power. Because all these features that we saw in the previous videos, they need some proper processing power.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're a little, sometimes they can be a little sluggish in terms of the integration, the connectivity as well, making sure all of that stuff is up to date when you're going back and forth, and then you're in your car for longer periods of time as well. You're not always there, but you're there for a long stretch. So making sure that it can keep up with that as well would be pretty important. And I'm curious, I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate here. Thinking about all that power, is it something that could be used in the future to actually fuel automobiles? Could those processors be the new fuel or the new alternative energy source for actually powering cars and not just get all of this data, but to actually move them?
That's quite interesting. Well, first of all, I think the next step will be all about electric cars, right?
Okay.
And the question will be how are we going to overcome these obstacles of battery technologies that we have right now? How can we do quick charge these batteries? I mean, if you have an electric car with a range of like 200 miles, so you need to have a proper recharging system that might recharge your whole platform like in 30 minutes or 45 minutes. The question is, you have kind of two paths in battery technology. There are these researchers that are working on having these quick charge batteries that you can recharge them in like 80% of the capacity in like half an hour. And then the other guys are working on batteries with a better capacity, with a higher capacity. So the question is always, for example, think about your smartphone. Would you prefer a smartphone with a battery life of, let's say, 24 hours or 36 hours, or would you prefer that takes 6 or 7 hours to recharge, or would you prefer a smartphone with a battery life of like 6 or 7 hours, but that only takes 30 minutes to recharge?
If it's really going to be 30 minutes to charge, I would take that. I'm like, my Moto X actually has about, I could probably push it to somewhere between 12 and 16 hours of battery life, but it's going to take about 2 hours to actually charge back up. So if they could drop that down to 30 minutes, absolutely, I would take that. Yeah, I would probably take that at the end of the day.
There are even some prototypes out there that are putting, I'm not sure, is this a kind of inductive recharging? I'm not so sure about this technology right now. I saw this running. So they had some buses that are actually recharging while they're driving. So they put some stuff into the concrete, and so they got recharged by just driving on a special lane of the road.
Chevrolet actually had something like that inside of their Chevrolet Volt, actually, in terms of if you're braking and you're braking properly, it actually generates enough energy and whatnot to be able to put that back into the battery.
That's a kinetic system.
Yeah.
They're also using this for Formula One cars for the last 3 years to get energy back into a battery, right, to recharge it. And I think that's a given. That has to be in each and every car in the future, right? We can't waste energy anymore. No. And braking basically means wasting energy. So don't just get rid of brakes.
Well, we'd have to get rid of the stoplights and the stop signs first. The people crossing the street who cause us to brake.
So you know what, we've been talking about processing power, we've been talking about CPUs. We would love to show you, first of all, what Intel Edison is all about, and we would love to show you the performance of the new NVIDIA Tegra K1, so check it out.
Edison. It's a full Pentium class PC in the form factor of an SD card. It runs a full Linux open source. It has built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth low energy. It has an app store, so you can go in and do app store programming. It will be available in the middle of 2014. With Edison, the opportunities we believe are endless. We would like to invite people from across the globe to participate. And to do this and to entice people to get interested, we're offering the largest prize ever, $1.3 million in prizes, $500,000 for first prize. But more importantly, the top 10 contenders will be connected with industry luminaries and Intel to bring those products to market.
Okay guys, another demo of the NVIDIA Tegra K1, which is running in a Note 7 reference tablet, and they're playing Serious Sam 3 over here. And let me just show you this. I mean, look at this. This is absolutely insane. Oh my god. That's the big gun, obviously. Let's see. Look at these particles here. Oh, no.
So what we're looking at here is switching between...
That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
With a slider. So as we zoom in, we can really see the difference between the digital era with the next generation technology.
So could you just imagine how the future of mobile gaming will look like when you're using an SoC with 192 cores? Holy crap. So these are... Okay, well, still have to work on this a little bit in terms of the optimization of it, but I mean, we're getting there. You see these frame drops that we have right now over here, but so this is absolutely amazing. So this is Serious Sam 3.
This is a console game.
This is a console game, exactly. This is Serious Sam 3 running on a tablet, on a 7-inch tablet with a new NVIDIA Tegra K1 SoC. This was the automotive day.
I'd have to say this is probably more exciting than some of the other things that I've seen. This is new stuff and just a new way of thinking about cars. I'd have to say the things that we're seeing is changing the way we would think about cars in the future and how we'll be able to use them, from integration with our devices and without them at the same time.
I truly believe that the car is the next big thing. I'm just not saying this because Mercedes are flying me, and because I love cars. I really like the idea of seeing an industry that has a history of over 100 years, transforming into something new, into something very, very exciting. Cars are already very emotional, right? Car companies are emotionalizing their products a lot, more than any company in the world, well, maybe besides Apple. But I mean, when you're getting into a car that costs you like $50,000 or $60,000, and you really have to save your money for this for quite a while, and you're closing the door for the very first time, you're taking off from the dealership, right? It just feels like something very personal. It's your car, right? And that's probably the device I'm going to use for the next years, and
yeah, at least a decade.
But for me, it always, in the last years, it just felt, oh my God, the car engineers, or let's say the research and development in terms of the connected car, felt to me like a brotherhood of sleep when you comparing this to the mobile industry.
Yeah, absolutely. I was definitely would comment on that in terms of you began to wonder with all this like explosion pretty much happening in technology. You didn't see it so much happening in automotive, and it's almost like, well, our cars pretty much going to get left behind in terms of this explosion and this growth and all of this expansion that's happening in tech. Where do cars fit in, and where do you bring them in to make that connection? And do you just stop at having, these, bits and pieces of technology that are put in that you can wirelessly sync with, and how do you move it forward towards, what we're seeing in terms of the integration with the technology that is being exposed in tablets and smartphones and whatnot. How do you bring that all together for a seamless and cohesive experience at the end of the day that also makes your driving experience 10 times better than what you would normally experience, you know, in the past? And
yeah.
I mean, you get in a car previously, you're playing your headphones, you stop it. Now you got to switch to the radio, or you got to grab a CD or something like that. But now you get into your car, you put your phone into a little connector, and there, it's now synced up with all your media now. So just moving forward on that, how do you see that expanding and whatnot? And I think we're definitely getting more of that this year at CES for sure.
It's a huge challenge for the car industry because, I mean, when they're developing a new car, cars, they have like developing life cycles of like 7 years or so.
Yeah. Long time compared to 2-3 phones being released every year for upgrades. Absolutely.
So the challenge for this industry would be mainly not only that, first of all, they already have somehow to predict what's happening in 7 years in the mobile industry, but they also need to come up with components that are lasting that long, right?
Yeah.
How many smartphone users are out there, or tablet users are out there that are still using a smartphone or a tablet from 2007? Well, good luck in finding them. That's over.
I was going to say, they may have it lying around in the house, but they're certainly not using it anymore unless what you got now breaks.
But how many people are out there having a 7-year-old car, or a 15-year-old car, or a 20-year-old car?
Yeah, no, a lot of people.
This is just a completely different world. And therefore, I think this automotive industry need to learn a little bit more about modular concepts, right? Where I can easily just get one module out there and get one with more performance. Actually, Samsung is showing this with this. They have some smart TVs that you can upgrade with a little black box, with a new processor, with new software.
You know who is really doing that and innovating in that area? Motorola's ATAP team.
Oh,
the Project Aura that they have going on. Absolutely, car manufacturers can definitely learn something about that and be able to take components instead of having to upgrade your entire car. Pieces of the system itself get upgraded, though Motorola is taking it to a whole nother level with that. But I would agree with you. Going into a more modular level to be able to kind of keep up at the same time while still having something that's long lasting and like in the overall structure and framework, that would be something for them to pay attention to and look at. No, I would agree.
It's happening. It's happening in 2014. It's going to happen in 2015 and so on. I just can't wait. You know what? I just want to see this first, you know, completely automated car and autonomous driving. And
I'm waiting for iRobot to happen where I can just sit back and not even have to worry about driving. That's what Toyota got me so excited with their concept car, because I'm like, if I can steer it with my body, then maybe they're getting one step closer to where I don't have to steer it at all, and maybe it's on a grid and it just rolls by itself and I can sleep on the way to my next meeting.
And I'm 100% convinced it would be much safer for some people out there, or in general for societies, if some people were only allowed to get in a self-driven car.
Absolutely. I would agree with that. It would be great for those late night parties at CES as well. And I would save a whole lot of money on cabs out here.
That's so true. So, Kavita, thank you so much for rocking the North Hall with all the cool car stuff. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Tomorrow is going to be the last day of CES, and this will be more about anything else that we can get in front of the camera. So it's going to be a huge mix of new gadgets, new technologies, and therefore I hope we're going to see you tomorrow.